And it's a wrap for 2023. Can you believe it? Basically, this year is at its end. Most people are already on holiday, or you are basically leaving for holiday. But before you do that, I just wanted to make a last video for this year. Just a few tips or things to think about when you go on holiday to not undo all the hard work that you've done this year, and maybe not have to start from completely scratch in the new year. So hi, my name is Melissa Nell. I'm a registered dietitian and I'm part of the Body 20 Nutrition Doctor team. So first off, I just wanted to say that I hope everyone has a wonderful Christmas time, and with friends and with family, travel safe, enjoy the time, really just relax and rest up. And I hope that 2024 is really a great year for every single person. But as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I know a lot of people start to get a bit anxious when it comes to the holiday times, because they know that they are going away to maybe a holiday home or whatever it might be, and they don't necessarily have access to Body 20, or the Body 20 studios are closing, or they're going to have friends and family over, so they don't really have control over what to eat. Or maybe you just feel like you're scared you're going to lose control and undo all the hard work that you've done in the year. So the first thing that I wanted to say is that it is important to try and maintain a bit of balance when it comes to holidays, especially if you are on a long holiday, like a few weeks or so, because those few weeks can definitely have a massive impact on your weight loss journey. If you are going all out and just basically eating and drinking what you want and not being physically active. But it doesn't have to be that way. But the thing that I want you to remember is that luckily with holidays, it is an exception to the rule. It's not the rule. So in other words, these little, uitskietertjies, if you may, in Afrikaans, or things that maybe aren't necessarily in your normal routine, typically do have an effect on our weight. However, it is something that we typically can easily, lose again, because when you go back to your routine or to your, general life, you don't necessarily do those things anymore. So that's the first thing. I kind of just want you to not think about it too much and not stress about it too much, because that's going to be, even more ineffective, because then we're going to release stress hormones and we don't want to do that. So the very first thing that I would recommend is to try and stay as active as possible. So if you can walk around the area, maybe you're going to the beach, maybe, there's a promenade where you can go for a walk every day, or maybe a walk and run. If there's a gym close by, maybe just still getting up at a decent time, quickly pop into the gym for 30 minutes and then go back and enjoy the rest of the day. Play on the beach with the kids, with bats or whatever it might be. But try and be as active as possible. Luckily, that's nice with our summer holidays, is that we enjoy being outdoors and being active and doing things. So really, it is important to, laze around and read a book or whatever you want to do, but try and also be a bit active in the day. The second thing is, what I've noticed with people is, especially if, let's say, you're going to the beach, or even if you're going to the bush and you're going for a game drive, we typically pack snacks, right? And rightly so, but it's important to, make sure that the snacks that you pack aren't all just unhealthy and treats and those types of things. So try and pack some fiber, packed foods as well, some fruits, maybe some veggie sticks, whole wheat options when it comes to crackers, and not just going for the salty cracks, for example. So try and still be mindful of the types of snacks you eat, and try to stick to meals as fast as possible, because that's also something that often happens, is we tend to just kind of eat the whole day. And even if you are eating healthy things, maybe you are only snacking on nuts and seeds, or seed bars or health bars or whatever it might be. Yes, those are healthy, but the calories are adding up. So really just still stay mindful of whether you are truly hungry or just peckish. And if you are peckish, maybe get up and do something fun. Go for a walk, go to the beach, or just do something to take your mind off of eating. But if you are packing snacks, or if you are making meals, try to still choose the healthier options where possible, and try to listen to your hunger and your satiety cues, and really just, try not to overeat where you can. The next thing is, of course, alcohol. So if you are someone that really enjoys having a mimosa in the morning, or a beer shandy, and then you move on to a gin, and then you move on to wine or whatever, and you do that every single day, the calories are definitely going to add up. It's definitely going to have an effect on your sleep quality and also on your eating habits. So it is really important to be mindful of the amount of alcohol you take during this time. And I would recommend to try and at least have a lot of water in between, just to stretch out the time a bit, so that it's not one glass of alcohol after the other. Because unfortunately, if that's the case, then it's going to be very difficult to maintain your weight and maybe you might even gain a few kilograms, and we don't want that. And then on that note, with alcohol, try to go for your lower calorie alcohol options, like for example vodka and soda with some lemon slices in it, or a gin and a sugar-free tonic. Add some blueberries in there, or mint leaves to flavor it up a bit. If you are doing wine, try to, if you can, go for the lighter options, or just limit your amount of glasses, because wine is really packed with a lot of calories in a small quantity. You can rather opt for the spirits, like your whiskey. If you're going to do brandy, do Coke Zero. Small little things where you can, to just limit the amount of sugar that you are consuming and overall calories that you are consuming in your drinks. And then together with that, make sure that there are healthy snacks available in the house and not just a lot of unhealthy snacks, because unfortunately when we are taking a lot of alcohol, our boundaries in terms of healthy foods typically decreases. So we are often more peckish for things like chips and crackers and those types of things. So if you don't necessarily have a lot of that in the house, then that will also help. And try to stick to meals where you can, so that you have a really proper breakfast and lunch and dinner, and that you don't need to rely so much on the snacks in between. Lastly, the thing that I would recommend is to keep a water bottle or something that you can keep water with you all the time, to make sure you are drinking a lot of water. It's hot, we do tend to get dehydrated, and then often we opt for things that's not necessarily water, but then are sugary drinks and that type of thing. So make sure you are still consuming a lot of water to keep hydrated, to help with fat oxidation if you are maybe still being active and that type of thing, but then also just to keep the body healthy, prevent constipation and all of those things. So try to still, bring in some of the healthy habits that you've developed throughout the year, so that you don't completely lose them. And I really also think this time of the year, if let's say you are staying home and you're not going away, is a great time to experiment with some of the recipes that we've loaded onto the website or onto your eating plan. If you haven't had time to experiment with them in the year, then maybe this is a time where you can really make some of the recipes that we've suggested, and try them out and see if you like them, and see how you can incorporate them into your daily routine or weekly routine in the new year. So those are little things that you can do. You can even start a new sport if you like, or maybe really ramp up your training if your time allows it in this holiday season. I hope this has been helpful. Like I said, still just enjoy this time, be mindful, but still enjoy it, rest up, and then hopefully we'll have a great 2024, and I'll see you in the new year.